there is a news that is coming out that NATO is condemning Iran's targeting of Turkey and reaffirming strong deterrence across all domains. This is a claim that is very distraught, as we also see the Iranian counterpart denying such attack missile barrage towards Turkey. On the other side, we have UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer saying that Britain will not join a war without a clear legal basis and a detailed plan. Yesterday, almost 87 sailors were killed after a US torpedo struck an Iranian warship off the coast of Sri Lanka. These are the latest updates that are coming in. I want to begin with Norman Floyd Barnes. The war is into its 6th day, and the United States has already spent $2 billion according to various news media outlets. I want to begin with Norman Floyd Barnes. What are the other updates that you have for us? How are you seeing the situation? Norman Floyd.
Yes, we're seeing this situation develop here regarding the cost. You mentioned the cost of the war so far. The Trump administration has went to approach Congress about increasing extra funds, billions of dollars, to fund this war conflict with the Ukraine. Also, the Congress has yesterday has they talk about the War Powers Act for the president. They wanted to restrict his ability to make war. The Senate voted yesterday in a resounding amount that they will not restrict the president, and they do not recommend that take place. So that's a win for the Trump administration, that he can continue on his journey and his processing of dealing with the war. Yesterday, it was also reported, as you mentioned, about the submarine, U.S. submarine sunk one of Iran's Navy's prize vessel off the coast of Sri Lanka. 87 bodies has been recovered so far. The warship had a crew of 150 people. So this is one of what we call the first submarine, as we know, the first submarine sinking by a torpedo since World War II. This happened in international waters where Iran, I guess, apparently thought they were safe. But apparently now we are now moving beyond the coast of Iran and the Strait. And now we're dealing with issues around the world. Is coming more global. So we're now appearing to be, the United States appearing to be in this event for the long haul, and Europe is now looking at how they can position themselves. The UK, France has mentioned they want to put troops on the ground somewhere in the Middle East, and the president of the United States is still pondering the idea of putting boots on the ground. So the war is continuing, is being more intensified, and the president also mentioned that the additional attacks will be coming sooner, and they will be more prolific and more powerful.
One of the international issues that come about every often, we've seen it yesterday, we've seen it today as well. I want to come with this issue with Norman. Spain's Pedro Sanchez is hitting back at Trump's threat to sever trade ties, saying no to war. Spain finds itself not trying to get itself involved into this war. Well, Caroline Leavitt, spokesperson of the White House, says that Spain has made its adjustments and agreements with the United States administration and military. I want to know, Norman Floyd Barnes, this is testing the previously known relationships between the two nations. We've seen how during the Greenland issue, just very recently issue regarding Arctic Circle, regarding the Greenland, many of European leaders had understood that this was unjust and it would be violating many international laws. At this moment, we also see Mark Carney of Canada, Anthony Albanese of Australia coming to the support of United States by saying that Iran should not have a nuclear weapon. However, there should be a ceasefire in place to protect the assets in the region, assets in the Middle East. I want to understand from you, this is a time when we all understand the friendships may be strained due to picking of sides between this active situation. What are your observations, given the fact that many countries are now either going to sever ties with the U.S., if not reaffirm U.S.'s stance in this global issue? Norman Floyd.
Thank you for the question. The situation now is that the United States is on a all-out offensive regarding the situation with Iran. The countries that you mentioned, they have reservations. They also discouraging and encouraging a ceasefire and more discussion. But what you're seeing is a well thought out plan and it's being executed. The president mentioned over the next 3 or 4 weeks, they will be doing certain things and making adjustments based on the success of each mission. So right now, the United States is in a all-out warlike offensive, and the discussions and talking period has passed. There may be a time in the future once his objectives has been accomplished, which is to eliminate his Iran's military ability to use missiles and the nuclear plant. So this is going to be a very tedious process. It may take, I suggest that it may take longer than 4 weeks. It involves a process in which they was unable to complete with the nuclear blast they had a year ago. But now the situation is more intensified. You're talking about going into the bellows of Iran, the different areas. That's a very large country, and you're talking about eliminate their ability to utilize ballistic missiles. That's going to be a very challenging, if uh, uh, if possible, task to do that, and it will take longer. We'll use more resources. As you know, we have what we call catchers, instruments, launchers, catchers to defend the region. These facilities and these weapons, these systems requires a lot of time to make, and they are very expensive, over $1 million each time. However, Iran has put together this very sophisticated, what we call cheap type of drones and missiles
Right.
that they're producing at 100 per day. So basically, for every one that we build, take a month to build, they can build 100. So getting to these areas is going to take a long time, and it's going to be very, very expensive for the United States and its allies to deal with this. So you're talking about for every scud, every drone they shoot down, it costs them $1 million.
Of
And
course.
the other countries, Israel is also utilizing American resources. So a lot of ammunition is being used to defend and respond to Iran's, what I say, infinite arsenal of cheap material that will cause a lot of havoc. And basically, they are shooting 100 for every time we put up a missile to block. They shoot at 100. So
Right.
the plan right now is that if I shoot 100 drones and missiles to you, one or two of them will get through. And
Right.
that's all you need. You don't need 100 to get through. You just need one or two to get through certain areas. So this strategy is going to be very interesting. How long this can go, how long we can utilize our resources to catch these drones and objects coming over there. That is going to be a challenge, a
Of
big
course.
challenge, a big financial challenge, and it's going to take time and patience. Uh, like I said, they have an arsenal. They have an arsenal of weapons that they can shoot, 1,000 a day, and they still won't be close to depleting their resources. And they have the ability to manufacture new ones, like I say, at least 100 a
100 a
month.
day. Yep.
So they do not worry about supply. They do not worry
Right.
about supply.
As you were hearing about the various issues I picked up here in the studio, and we understand what are some of the end game options for Iran, if not options for Israel and the United States. This partnership, and even if you look at Donald Trump in the last 6 days, we see how confusion and distraught he is feeling, the confidence that he requires. There is no winner when it comes to a war, as far as I know it. So I want to understand your closing statement and how you see the coming days. Norman Floyd Barnes.
Thank you for the opportunity. What we have experienced is that this is a war that was not properly prepared. Here in the United States, we have, in other countries, we have thousands of our citizens stranded in the Middle East with no clear plan on getting them out, no clear plan on communicating. Yes, the U.S. State Department and the government has stated that they have been putting out bulletins, but there's no clear plan on getting our citizens out of the country, out of that region. So right now, that is a sign that this operational plan was not properly thought out. The logistics is poor. It's creating another area now. We got tankers now being requested to have additional assurance on it, and U.S. escorts out of that region. So this whole process of the attack, beautiful attack, military genius, but the outcome has not been that successful, and it appears it's going to be a problem because now we're looking at other factors that was not included in the military plan. So the military plan was a static, attack, hit and get out. But unfortunately, once you're in this situation, as we see, it's hard to get out. We got assets, we got people, we got relationships that being challenged. We got countries are now requesting us for services. And basically, yes, the United States is a great country. We are a great country, but we can't do everything. And
Right.
that is going to be the challenge. We have to select, and it is going to mean a lot of hurt feelings, a lot of trust issues going to come up. And they have miscalculated, and they were thinking other countries are going to join in. But the countries are coming in to look at their self-interest. And this is based on the relationship that we have developed during this current administration. There's no more union. It's basically each man, each woman is for themselves,
Right.
and you do the best you can.
Right.
So now the situation is more global implication on this regional situation, and it's not going to clear itself up because we have a lot of resources and a lot of relationships that's now being tested.
Right.